Right now at 6, Arkansas State Police search for a suspect who killed 2 hikers at Devil's Den.
And we've got another dangerously hot day out there. Beautiful sunrise, though. And we'll talk about the heat and how much longer it lasts coming up.
Plus, a head-on crash in Jasper County leaves a pickup truck in flames.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOA Morning News at 6 a.m. I'm Elise Snowy.
I'm Chris Warner. It's Tuesday. It is July the 29th, and we are getting that much closer to August, and August is actually going to be below normal to start.
Right.
Least, which is very nice to say, considering we've been above normal for, it feels like months now. It hasn't been months, but boy, it has certainly felt like it with all that heat, and it continues at least a couple more days for us, including of course today. Let's start with that live look downtown Pittsburgh. Got a beautiful sunrise out there this morning. Great start to the day, at least in the sky. Skies are clear, but temperatures this morning already still well above normal. MoDOT camera 20th and range line in Joplin. Looking back to the south, looking great as well this morning. Heat advisories. This is where it gets a little more interesting. Heat advisories are something that are handled at the local level by the local forecast offices. As we've talked about, there are 5 of them that cover our 15-county area. So, Bourbon, Crawford, Cherokee County, and the southern portion of southwest Missouri. These run through Wednesday evening still. Now for southeast Kansas, Wichita is set these to expire as of this evening. Could they be extended to tomorrow? I'd say it's a good possibility, but even if they still let them expire this evening, that doesn't mean that tomorrow is suddenly going to be better. It's still going to be dangerously hot out there, so you still need to be taking precautions. And of course, Tulsa goes day by day. These expired 8 this evening, very likely will show up again at least through tomorrow as well. That's because our heat index values are remaining in that 105 to 110 degree range out there, with heat exhaustion being likely, heat stroke possible, and of course, elderly kids a little more susceptible. The heat could make a bigger impact on them, and of course people with certain medical conditions as well. This heat can be pretty serious, so you've got to make sure you're taking care of yourself and others as you are outdoors, if you have to be outdoors. All right, on to the future track. Clear skies through the morning into the early afternoon. Then we'll start to go partly cloudy, isolated pop-up storm chances, roughly between about 2 and 6, 2 and 7, and then those will clear on out of here, and the majority of us, of course, with pop-up storms will be dry today. 77 in Joplin, 75 in Pittsburgh this morning, and across the area, temperatures again quite warm. Chanute still sitting at 80. You've been at 80 since at least 5 o'clock this morning, which is just ridiculous for this time of day. There are some low 70s in some of our counties, but the majority of us are still in the mid to upper 70s. We're going to cruise right up into the mid 80s by 9, low 90s by noon. Our highs today, excuse me, mid to upper 90s. Pop-up storm chances out there again. West winds 5 to 10. And of course, as I mentioned, those heat index values 105 to 110. It's going to be a little hotter tomorrow. Then things get better with a cold front coming in late tomorrow into early Thursday. And we'll talk about that in the full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, a convicted killer faces new charges after deputies say he attacked a neighbor in Carl Junction. Jasper County Sheriff's deputies arrested 46-year-old Dustin Fanning Sunday night after witnesses say he chased his girlfriend with a hatchet and threatened to harm everyone in a home on State Highway 96. They say when the homeowner tried to take the hatchet away, Fanning punched the man in the head and then started breaking windows. Officers found Fanning hiding in nearby woods and arrested him for assault and burglary. Fanning previously served time for killing his 78-year-old father in 2008. We have more details on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. The investigation continues into the cause of a head-on crash late Sunday night in Jasper County. Reports came in just after 11 p.m. concerning a head-on crash which left a pickup on fire on Central City Road near Daylight Lane. Authorities say a car crossed the center line and struck the pickup. First responders said the resulting flames reached the height of nearby utility poles. The driver of the pickup managed to climb out without suffering any visible injuries. The driver of the car was taken to an area hospital where she was listed in serious condition. Carl Junction firefighters extinguished the fire and washed gas and oil from the roadway. Police in Arkansas are searching for a suspect in the death of a couple who investigators said were attacked while on a wooded walking trail with their 2 young daughters. All trails at Devil's Den State Park in Washington County, Arkansas remain closed as the investigation continues. A husband and wife, 43-year-old Clinton Brink and 41-year-old Kristen Brink, were hiking with their daughters, ages 7 and 9, when they were attacked happened on Saturday. Authorities say the couple died protecting their children. The victims' bodies were sent to the Arkansas State Crime Lab to determine the official cause and manner of death. State police say the suspect is believed to be a white man of medium build, wearing dark pants, a long-sleeved shirt with sleeves rolled up, a baseball cap, sunglasses, and fingerless gloves. He is also believed to be driving a black Ford sedan. Witnesses say the description came from people inside the park, not from video or surveillance. Valerie Zhang has the latest on the investigation in Arkansas.
Be advised, this just occurred at Devil's Den. Units still en route attacked a male and a female on Devil's Den hiking trail and then took off in a small black sports car with tape over the plate.
ASP tells us 43-year-old Clinton Brink and 41-year-old Kristen Brink just moved to Prairie Grove from another state.
And we suspect the suspect of injuries due to the witness seeing the suspect stab one of them.
To find out that, a couple people were just out there enjoying the same element that we're in, got disturbed the way they did, it's kind of a messed up situation.
In a press release Sunday afternoon, ASP released an updated description of the suspect they're searching for.
Be on the lookout for a white male suspect wearing black gloves, sunglasses, dark-colored pants.
Police say he was also wearing a long-sleeve shirt with the sleeves rolled up and a black backpack. They also believe the suspect drove a Mazda with the license plate covered in tape and may have been traveling on State Highway 170 or 220 near the park.
According to witness, direction of travel was, quote, went across a bridge leaving Devil's Den and stayed on the highway, end quote.
While the trails are closed, many other places like the visitor center and the cabins are open to the public.
You can't even roll into the park without seeing them taking care of the situation. Law enforcement's doing what they got to do.
The superintendent at the park told me he's talked to all the guests and informed them of the situation.
I got other people around. Park's hot right now. There's extra enforcement. People are, looking out for it. I got nothing to say for that dude right there. It's going to come down on him, and when it does, God's going to help him, because those people didn't deserve that. They're just out here just trying to enjoy their time.
Now, the couple's daughters, ages 7 and 9, were not harmed and are staying with family members. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, Harvard researchers reveal a troubling link. People facing financial hardship and food insecurity have higher rates of long COVID. Plus, a police officer dies responding to a Manhattan office building shooting. The gunman from Las Vegas takes his own life after the attack. And high temperatures continue in the 4 states. Chris returns with another look at your Tuesday forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Time now, 6:08. We'll be right back. But first, here's a live look from Leonard Park in Joplin. Well, topping Nation Watch, chaos in central Manhattan after a gunman entered a commercial office building, shooting and killing multiple people. And while officials say the threat has been neutralized, heartache remains as investigations continue. Gary Baumgarten has the latest.
Somebody said gunshots, shooter.
A desperate attempt for answers after a deadly mass shooting at a Midtown Manhattan office building Monday night.
345 Park Avenue is a commercial office building whose tenants include the NFL, Rudin Management, KPMG, and Blackstone.
Police say multiple people are dead,
including a member of the New York City Police Department, Officer Islam.
This after a male suspect exited a black BMW on Park Avenue between 51st and 52nd Street, carrying an M4 rifle as he entered the building.
The building's security camera footage shows the shooter enter the lobby, turn right, and immediately open fire on an NYPD officer. He goes up to the 33rd floor, which is Rudin Management, and begins to walk the floor, firing rounds. He then proceeds down a hallway and shoots himself in the chest.
Law enforcement say the suspect is a 27-year-old with a Las Vegas address and a documented mental health history. The suspect's vehicle was searched.
Inside of that vehicle, officers found a rifle case with rounds and medication.
These pictures show the inside of an office on the 33rd floor where workers barricaded themselves with couches to avoid the shooter.
We believe this to be a lone shooter, and there is no longer an active threat to the public.
Investigations into a possible motive continue. In New York, Gary Baumgarten, Fox News.
And still to come, actor Anthony Mackie promises high-octane action in Twisted Metal Season 2, plus Heidi Klum's Project Runway comeback and a K-pop star's military enlistment. Plus, Chris will have a look at your Tuesday forecast from the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Well, from explosions in the Twisted Metal arena to catwalk comebacks on Project Runway and a K-pop superstar saying farewell for now to the stage. Nick Zajovic has your eye on entertainment.
Buckle up for more chaos. The wild ride continues in Twisted Metal Season 2. John and Quiet enter the deadly Twisted Metal tournament, a high-octane demolition derby led by a mysterious man known as Calypso.
Season 2 is just like this potpourri of ignited, dangerous explosions and, spine-tingling, bust your head open beats.
There it is.
The first episode starts streaming this Thursday. K-pop star and actor Cha Yun-woo is hitting pause on his career. The 28-year-old Astro member officially enlisted in the Korean Army Monday to fulfill his mandatory military service. Cha will serve in the Army's brass band after 5 weeks of basic training.
I see you all on the runway. Let's start the show.
Strike a pose. Heidi Klum is back. The 21st season of Project Runway is serving fashion with a side of drama. Christian Siriano, Season 4 winner, now joins as a mentor and host, and he says having Klum back is a full circle moment.
When Heidi left was a big difference for the show. And Heidi started Project Runway. It was kind of her idea. So having her come back is really important. I think it just feels great.
Expect big personalities and bigger battles around the sewing machines when the new season kicks off later this week. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Nick Zajovic, CBS Los Angeles.
Very cool. Let's take it over now to Chris for a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've got, again, another hot day in place for us. One more ahead of us tomorrow, and then relief finally on the way. We're going to have a complete look at your forecast and break down our storm chances when we come back. Time now is 6:18. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6:20 on this Tuesday morning. We're going to start with the future track. Got a lot of stuff to cover over the next couple of days here. For today, not much, but between about 2 and say 6, maybe 7, an isolated, and as you can see, I mean isolated, pop-up storm or shower is possible. The majority of us will be dry. It will just be hot, muggy, and uncomfortable again. Future track, though, is hinting at maybe a heavier shower late this evening. Parts of McDonald, Berry counties, not too sure on that one, but it at least says it's a possibility, and I'm sure you will certainly take the rain if you get it. Now, tomorrow is a whole myriad of things going on. One, want to be one of our hottest days over the last couple of weeks with highs about near 100. 2, the excessive heat continues. 3, pop-up storms show up. 4, cold front starts to arrive. 5, more thunderstorm chances build in. And 6, tomorrow starts a stretch of slightly below normal temperatures. A lot happening Wednesday. Now, initially, not much going on all the way through noon. But once we head into the afternoon, we start with, again, isolated pop-up storms. By 5, there's a few more of them. Still a lot of us dry, but there's a lot more of these little thunderstorms popping up out there. And as we go later into the evening, here we are, 6, 7 o'clock. Here comes that thunderstorm complex. And we showed it to you yesterday. The only changes about it is it's a couple hours later. Instead of being at 5, it's now showing up at 7. And instead of diving southeasterly from, say, Yates Center down toward Cassville, it's looking to move more easterly. It's still there. It still expands in coverage, but it's looking to stay in the northern half of the area initially. So some scattered storms around Nevada possible by 7. Here comes that thunderstorm complex. And as you see, as it pushes to the east, it starts to grow a little in size. So now stretching just west of Fort Scott towards Chanute and near Fredonia by 8 tomorrow. And then it blossoms up a bit around 8, 9 and pushes east into Missouri. So Nevada, Lamar, Jasper, maybe down to parts of Carthage, Joplin. You may not get the rain rain, but you might see the storm to your north and then up towards Stockton, and then some scattered storms back behind it. Do you see these wind shift lines here? You see how the wind arrows are changing? That's because there's an approaching cold front. And shortly after that, we get new development right along that cold front that initially stretches Stockton, Nevada, Pittsburgh, Chanute, Fredonia, and then quickly begins to move to the south. So by 2 a.m., it's along I-44 and the Kansas-Oklahoma border, and then it will push on out of here. Now, so towards sunrise on Thursday, some of those storms could still be going south of I-44, and then that clears out from there. Now, tomorrow, we could get an isolated strong storm our far northeastern counties. That's really the only area we have highlighted with that activity, so it'd be that cluster of storms by late tomorrow night if it intensifies. Thursday is another interesting bag, and we've got mostly cloudy skies. Future track right now, as you saw, showing pop-up showers and storms out there. Some data suggests we might get a few more scattered storms. Still, a lot of us would be dry on Thursday, but there might be a few more storms than what's showing up on future track for tomorrow. So for Thursday. So we'll watch it. Not expecting anything crazy, but something we'll keep an eye on. Just see how wet it's going to be. All right, Tuesday. Today, 105, 110 degree heat index values. Tomorrow, 105 to 110 degree heat index values once again across the area. By Thursday, some of our southern counties might still have an opportunity, as you can see, to get a little hotter out there. So we're looking at heat index values, maybe 95 to 100, maybe. It depends on the cloud cover, the rain coverage. Otherwise, take a look. By Friday, no heat index values. These are just our air temperatures out there. The feels like will be the same because it is going to be nice. Until then, though, heat advisories, again, the latest of these continue through tomorrow evening. Kansas, these will expire this evening. Could they be reissued for tomorrow? It wouldn't surprise me, but as of right now, they still expire this evening. But that doesn't mean tomorrow is going to be any better. You still have to take precautions out there. And of course, remember, KOAMNewsNow.com. Click on the forecast tab or do so in the app, and we've got all those heat safety tip graphics on there that you can review at any time. They'll be up there again tomorrow just in case, but hopefully we can get rid of them for at least a few days. All right, today though, not getting rid of them at all. Low 80s to start, low 90s by 11. Clear skies like what we're seeing right now. Then we'll start to go a little partly cloudy. Wow, those pop-up storm chances, highs into the upper 90s with a west breeze at 5 to 10. Into tonight, skies will begin to clear out after the pop-up storm chances, and some of you may be clear through most of the evening anyway. Upper 70s, so another warm night ahead of us. Tomorrow, again, near 100, if not at 100 for our highs. Then that front works in late in the evening and overnight. Take a look. Thursday, still warm, but below normal. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, low to mid 80s. An absolutely perfect weekend. Look at those lows into the mid 60s for some of us. Finally, below normal. Now, it is short-lived, though. By the start of next week, we're back a little closer to normal, some pop-up storm chances, and we return to the mid-90s by the second half of next week. So get out there and enjoy this weekend because it's going to be fantastic. That is a check of your forecast. Now we're going to toss it over to Elise with Health Watch.
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, people from lower income backgrounds are at a greater risk for developing long COVID. Researchers from Harvard and Brigham and Women's Hospital found people experiencing financial hardship, food insecurity, and healthcare access challenges had a higher risk for developing long COVID. The study highlights how social disparities in health can become even worse during a pandemic. Well, new research suggests there are things we can do to lower our risk of cognitive decline and dementia. A study published in JAMA found adults over 60 at risk of cognitive decline can improve their brain health through diet, moderate to high intensity physical exercise, social engagement, and monitoring their cardiovascular health. People who followed those steps showed improved memory and executive function compared to those who didn't. And people who walk to stay healthy may want to pick up the pace. A study published in the American Journal of Preventative Medicine found that walking fast for just 15 minutes a day boosts heart efficiency, lowers body weight, and lowers your risk of death by 20%. Researchers say the benefits are even greater among low-income and Black communities. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. Stick around. We'll be right back. Right now at 6:30, Miami's Economic Development Service releases a housing study. The city needs hundreds of affordable homes to meet demand.
And it's another hot and miserable day here in the 4 states, but the skies are clear. They look nice. if you're inside. We'll have a look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, a new recreation center opens in Webb City. The W Club features basketball, pickleball, volleyball, and multi-purpose rooms for the community.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6:30. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is Tuesday, July the 29th.
Yes.
August coming up, and as we mentioned earlier, it's going to be a below normal start.
On the weekend, too, which will be nice.
Which is going to be fantastic. Yeah. I was just, one of the other TVs in here was playing a commercial. I love stock footage of people, like where they're just, it's just the...
I know. I would love to be there when they're filming it.
It's got to be so awkward,
okay.
But I mean...
Look more interested in this blank piece of paper that you're looking at.
Stuff? I love it, though. And you see it all the time.
Yes.
Maybe one of you could be a stock footage actor.
Yeah.
You never know.
Hey,
it's a paycheck, right? Mm-hmm. And I am also getting paid to tell you bad news sometimes, and I am sorry about that, okay? I don't control the weather, man. If I did, it'd be San Diego weather all the time, but I don't. So here's what we're looking at. First, a beautiful sunrise downtown Pittsburgh. But that sun, it's mean. And it's vicious, and it's got a mean streak with us right now with all the heat we've been experiencing, but it looks cool, doesn't it? It looks so nice out there. MoDOT camera 20th and range line, looking back to the south, looks good so far as well. It is very warm this morning, and it will continue to be, unfortunately. That's why, look at all this orange. Yeah, that's not the sun. This is all those heat advisories again. So parts of Kansas, Missouri, they'll run through tomorrow evening. Now, in southeast Kansas, these are set to expire this evening. Could they be extended to tomorrow? It wouldn't surprise me, but even if they don't, that doesn't mean all of a sudden tomorrow in this part of Kansas, it's going to be, sunshine, rainbows, and lollipops. It's still going to be hot. It's still going to be dangerously hot. You still will need to take precautions out there. So if they expire tonight, don't let that fool you for tomorrow. We're still 105 to 110 degree heat index values. So as we've showed you so many times, heat exhaustion's likely, heat stroke possible. Of course, elderly children more susceptible to this. You got to keep your pets inside. You've got to stay hydrated if you have to be outside. And if you don't, then limit your time outdoors. Future track. Not a lot to show, but between 2 and about 6, 7 o'clock, isolated pop-up storms will be possible. 90% of us will very likely remain dry, but some of us might get a brief shower or thunderstorm out there, and that's going to be about it. We're at 77 in Joplin right now, 74 in Pittsburgh, which is a slight improvement over yesterday. But some of us, like Chanute, no improvement at all. In fact, you're starting warmer today. You're sitting at 80. We've got most of us mid-upper 70s. We've had some low 70s out there, but even those starting to warm up. Take a look at Jay, though, the cool spot down there at 72 degrees. We'll be into the mid-80s by 9, low 90s by noon, mid to upper 90s for our highs today. Our heat index values, again, 105 up to 110 with that west breeze at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. Now, tomorrow is yucky as well, but tomorrow brings a plethora of changes to our weather, including those below normal temperatures. We'll go over those details with you here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, we'll see you soon, Chris. Thanks. Well, a new study indicates Miami, Oklahoma needs more housing. The Miami Area Economic Development Service commissioned a study last year assessing housing needs. Now the results of that study are made public. The study indicates the Miami area needs between 500 and 600 new homes. Most of those homes need to be in the $100,000 to $200,000 range.
We actually had him look at each economic development to try to determine how many units we need at each level. And so that's some of the data that we got back in the housing study. And so we looked at low-income housing, we looked at low to upper middle class housing, and then higher end or maybe like junior executive level housing.
Miami Economic Development is looking at areas for housing developments outside the city limits. King Jack Park in Webb City celebrates a new 17,000 square foot recreation and community center called the W Club. The city marked the opening with a ribbon cutting from Gibson Barrett, a local Webb City girl who finished third in the nation in the hoop shoot competition. The new facility features a basketball court, pickleball and volleyball net, not to mention a concession stand and multi-purpose rooms. One official says they hope everyone discovers the club is a place to have fun.
I want people to feel like they have a place to learn their skills and just have fun. with sports, it can get competitive, and they could shy away from a certain sport if they're in a really competitive place. But my hope is for the W Club to be an open and inclusive place where anyone can come play.
The event also featured a tour of the facility with free food and drinks from concessions, along with free tea samples from HTO. A ribbon cutting ceremony in Pittsburgh yesterday celebrated some new pickleball courts. The Four Oaks Sports Complex hosted the event for the grand opening of the brand new Johnson family pickleball courts. The courts honor Julie, JW, and Georgia Johnson and their coach Jack Johnson, often referred to as Pittsburgh's first family of pickleball. While the Johnsons have made their mark on the world stage, they're now making history right here at home. Following the ceremony, the family played a round of pickleball with the community and signed some autographs.
They called me and said, do you mind if we change some of these pickleball or tennis courts over to pickleball? I said, no, we'd love it. And more people can play it. It's easier to learn.
The courts are amazing. We do love it. We're here every day.
Now, following the ceremony, members of the Johnson family played a round of pickleball with the community. The city of Nevada says it will soon begin enforcing a code for those with pools and hot tubs. Now, if your pool, hot tub, or spa holds more than 2 feet of water, it must be fully enclosed with a fence at least 4 feet tall and include a self-closing, self-latching gate. City staff say it's a national code that many cities across the country enforce, but recent complaints from community members is encouraging Nevada to begin enforcing it. Staff cite community safety, especially for children, as the reason for the rule.
It's quite common to see this in cities for the protection of young people. So it's something that governments can do. We do it for cars speeding too fast. It's meant to protect citizens.
Now, city staff say they are giving residents time to comply with the code. With enforcement beginning in May of next year, residents will need to get a fence permit from the city by October. And a sweet moment for a good cause. Young Sebastian Green is getting a first taste at giving back. The Granby boy created his own blizzard ahead of Miracle Treat Day at Dairy Queen on 32nd Street in Joplin. Sebastian was diagnosed with autism at age 3. And he has received support from Children's Miracle Network. Now, on July 31st, $1 from every blizzard sold will go to Freeman Health System to help kids in the 4 states.
Miracle Treat Day is just such a fun day at Dairy Queen. $1 from every blizzard sold comes back to Children's Miracle Network. What kiddo doesn't love ice cream? What adult doesn't love ice cream? We have such a fun day. And then know that it's always going to a great cause.
Sebastian gave the blizzard he made to his grandma. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. A dessert from the Middle East is making big waves across the U.S. Plus, Applebee's, Buffalo Wild Wings, and Popeyes offer free chicken wings today. Your guide to National Chicken Wing Day deals. We'll have the latest. Time now, 6:38. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back, but first, here's a live look from Leonard Park. Well, in Consumer Watch, the European Union has reached a trade deal and is getting mixed reactions from member countries and economists. Hungary sharply criticized the agreement, saying President Trump ate the EU for breakfast. French officials complain the deal is unbalanced and unequal, while German and Italian politicians say it offers predictability and avoids a trade war. Some economists predict the agreement will slow growth and say it's also problematic because it contains vague details that are open to interpretation. Well, a hack affecting the women-only dating advice app T was more serious than previously disclosed. The company said yesterday users' direct messages were breached as well as some of their photos. T says tens of thousands of images and messages were accessed. The company has taken the affected system offline. And it's National Chicken Wing Day. And what does that mean for you? Well, free chicken wings, of course. Buy one order of wings at Applebee's online and get another one free. At Buffalo Wild Wings, get 6 free wings on them with the $10 order by using the promo code FREEWINGS. And at Popeyes, score 6 bone-in wings free with the 6-wing purchase. And that's a look at our consumer news. Now, if you haven't heard of this new chocolate craze, your kids might have. Dubai Chocolate, a Middle Eastern infused dessert, is taking the world by storm. You can only buy the original in the UAE, but CBS's Jared Hill visited a bakery in New York that's putting their own spin on the viral trend.
Decadent, wow, distinctive, and bursting out of Dubai.
It just came to the United States and it's just like all over the place.
The Dubai chocolate trend is tickling taste buds around the globe. It was actually this TikTok that first introduced the world to the original, a block of milk chocolate oozing with green pistachio cream and crunchy shredded phyllo dough. Created to soothe the pregnancy craving by the owner of Dubai-based Fix Chocolatier.
Okay.
At New York's Sweet Graffiti,
They're the higher sellers, everything that is Dubai.
pastry chef Romina Pixoto is in overdrive, cranking out her version, with the original pretty much only sold in Dubai.
Now you're gonna fill each cavity with chocolate.
So she put me to work to help stock up.
What do you think makes yours special, better, different?
I think that the ingredients that I use, they're high quality ingredients. The Dubai chocolate, okay.
Bridget Capel had never heard of the bar until her daughter, Kate, saw it on social media. Kate never had it either, but she knew she needed to try it on her trip to New York.
Because it looks so good, and just like seeing everyone try it and like their reactions.
So what does Dubai chocolate taste like?
It's soft and you can really tell the pistachios are there. Very delicate, really good.
As companies continue to ride the wave, Chef Pixoto is hoping to bake one of her own.
Create new flavors and see if that like creates a spark in somebody.
A search for a sweet viral moment that breeds blockbuster success. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
Now, the speed of the Dubai chocolate craze has bred many copycats and some scams. The originator says they do not have a website, authorized resellers, or franchises in any other country. That's a look at Consumer Watch. Here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've got another dangerously hot day on the horizon for us, and that will continue into tomorrow as well, unfortunately. And then temperatures drop below normal. Well, another full look at your forecast when we come back, as well as birthdays and anniversaries. Time now, 6:44. Time now for some Tuesday birthdays in the 4 states. We're going to start in Tulsa with Ashton Votes celebrating birthday number 9. Says happy birthday from Mimi and Papa.
And a happy 26th birthday to Alex Kress.
And heading over to Frontenac, Dustin Ashmore celebrating birthday number 38. A very happy birthday to you.
And in Columbus, a happy 63rd birthday to Susie Natalini.
And an anniversary for Paul and Cheryl Ballou in Fort Scott. 47 years of wedded bliss. A very happy anniversary to you.
Continuing the list with the happy 66th birthday to Pam McClure in Columbus.
And we've got Perry Davis in Chanute celebrating birthday number 67. Another pretty good list of birthdays and anniversaries. And of course, celebrating with us is just as fun as celebrating with your family. And if you want to do that, Elise has information that you should take down.
Yes, please submit your birthdays and your anniversaries to birthdays@koamnewsnow.com. Be sure to meet the deadline at the bottom of your screen, and to also please include the date of your celebration when submitting as well.
Certainly important information there, and unfortunately, important information about the heat. It's sticking around, but we're going to get a break soon. We're going to start with the future track today. Between about 2 and 6, 2 and 7, could get an isolated, and as you can see, an isolated pop-up storm or two out there. 90% of us probably dry out across the areas this afternoon and evening. Uh-oh. I apologize. I knew that was going to happen. I tried not to. It is so difficult to make that stop. No matter what I try, it seems to make it worse. All right, carrying on as we head into Wednesday. Another hot, unpleasant day for us initially. We have a cold front coming in. That's going to help us out quite a bit, but it won't be here until late Wednesday, early Thursday, so that's why most of our Wednesday is still unpleasant. We go into Wednesday afternoon. We're going to start to have an opportunity for initially isolated pop-up storms, and you can see them just kind of splattered around the area. By 5, They're still isolated, but there's a few more of them showing up. Now, some changes from yesterday. We had that thunderstorm complex working into Greenwood and Coffee counties by about 5 tomorrow evening. It's not showing up at that same time. Some good news, it's still showing up. In fact, it's just a couple hours later, maybe even just an hour later, it begins to roll in. The other change is initially yesterday, Future Track had it moving southeast from Yates Center down toward Cassville. It's now looking to move more easterly. And so we still have the thunderstorm complex. It's still showing up. It's just kind of changed its course and speed a bit. So by 7, some scattered storms, maybe around the Veda up towards Stockton, Appleton City. And then off to the west, here comes that complex. So Yates Center, back toward Eureka and Burlington, getting in on this thunderstorm activity. By 8, it's moved. It still moves pretty quickly. Moving to the east now. So just outside of Fort Scott, stretching back towards Chanute and Fredonia. Yates Center, you'll be on the backside of it by 8. More scattered storms ahead of it, though. Stockton, Nevada, up toward Butler. Then as it moves east again by 10, we've got the bigger complex. So it still grows upscale. The fancy word for saying it gets bigger as it continues east. So Stockton, Nevada, Lamar, Jasper, and maybe even some of it reaching south toward Carthage, maybe north of Joplin. So if you're in Joplin tomorrow night, you might see the lightning to your north, but may not get the rain just yet. And a few scattered storms back behind it. Then we go overnight. The cold front approaches. New storms develop. Initially Stockton, Nevada, Lamar, Pittsburgh, Parsons. That begins to push south with the cold front. So here's that front, and here's the storms back behind it. Not anticipating anything significant in terms of severe weather. Could get an isolated strong storm or two, our far northeastern corners. If any of that changes, of course, we'll let you know. But not looking at anything significant severe weather-wise, which is good. We're just going to get the rain, the thunderstorms. That's 2 a.m. By sunrise, or heading towards sunrise on Thursday. Bulk of the activity now south of I-44, so we might have a few of these lingering showers. Then Thursday, there is again some disagreement on the computer model data. This future track is showing you where right now the expectation from it is just pop-up storms. If you look, you'll see just random showers out there as we go through the day Thursday, but we stay mostly cloudy. Some data suggests maybe a few more scattered storms. Again, a lot of us might still be dry, but we might get a few more storms than what this future track is showing you. So we'll see how Thursday pans out, but Thursday, though, starts the opportunity to cool down. Now, you see to the south, though, still some clearing skies. So for Thursday, some of you in the south might still be a little bit on the warm side before you cool down as well. Heat index values today, again, up to 110. We go into Wednesday, once again, up to 110 for those heat index values. Thursday, again, that cold front comes through, and so ahead of it, again, maybe an opportunity to be a little warmer. The rest of us, these are our actual air temperatures, not heat index values, which will be nice. And by Friday, all of this, what you're looking at, these are not heat index values. It's going to be the same as our feels like temperature. We're going to be cooler and a little drier back behind this thing. A reminder, heat advisories, the latest of these run through Wednesday evening, southeast Kansas. Some of them expire through here this evening. Could they be expanded to tomorrow? Possibly. Even if they're not, that doesn't mean that suddenly tomorrow's better. You saw the heat index value map. Still hot, still miserable, still got to take precautions through at least tomorrow evening. That's a quick check of your forecast. We'll have another look at your weather and your wake-up recap in just a moment. And when we transition to Fox 14 at 7 a.m. or you hang out with us here on KOAM+, we're going to tell you about an Army sergeant taking on 5 events at the Warrior Games, all while battling cancer.
This is your wake-up recap for July 29th. The top stories to start your day. Convicted killer Dustin Fanning faces new charges after a violent incident in Carl Junction. Jasper County deputies arrested the 46-year-old Sunday night after he allegedly chased his girlfriend with a hatchet and threatened others on State Highway 96. Fanning reportedly punched a homeowner and broke windows before officers found him hiding in nearby woods. He's charged with assault and burglary. The city of Nevada, Missouri will soon enforce a new code for pools and hot tubs. If your pool, hot tub, or spa holds over 2 feet of water, it must be enclosed with a 4-foot fence and a self-closing gate. Prompted by community complaints, this national code aims to enhance safety, especially for children. Residents must obtain a fence permit by October, with enforcement starting in May of next year. And a new study reveals Miami, Oklahoma needs 500 to 600 new homes. Commissioned by the Miami Area Economic Development Service, the study highlights a housing shortage. The city is currently exploring possible solutions and strategies to overcome obstacles. And that's a check of today's Wake Up Recap.
And we've got heat advisories again for most of us out there, and some continuing through tomorrow. Upper 90s, heat index values to 110, maybe an isolated pop-up storm or two between about 2 and 6, 2 and 7. Clear skies and still very warm overnight tonight, back into the upper 70s. It will be hot tomorrow, near 100 heat index values, up to 110 once again. And then that cold front comes in. So pop-up storms initially, more thunderstorms late evening, overnight into Thursday. And as we head into this weekend, the first few days of August, we will be below normal. Just certainly nice to be able to say.
Right. Well, coming up today at noon, we're making peachy keen cream pie in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings. Paul Wesley from Star Trek Strange New Worlds joins them next, plus Chef Gabe Bertuccini on his new Food Network show.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, Charlene Patton joins us in the studio to show us how to make an easy snack.
And Webb City opens its doors to a new 17,000 square foot recreation center. The W Club also brings basketball, pickleball, and more to King Jack Park. Lots of stuff to look forward to. It's going to wrap it up for us for now, though. Be back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
And we'll see you today at noon.